When deciding between several financial opportunities, economists use the term opportunity cost to describe their next most beneficial option relative to the choice they end up making. In reality, everything has an opportunity cost. The question is, what cost do we pay when we sacrifice our authenticity for acceptance? Let's talk about wizards. People have been fed a lie through popular culture like Harry Potter and Lord of the Rings that becoming a wizard is something that you have to be born as, that it's something you have to work at, and that they are fundamentally non-existent. The truth is, however, that you, the person watching this video, have the ability to bend reality to your will and achieve otherwise impossible results. When we are first exposed to the world and begin to observe society, we realize that people aren't often accepted as they are. As a result, we use our power to create masks around our faces. Although as a result of the mask we are accepted into society, we simultaneously sacrifice our individuality and weaken our natural abilities. When we hold our power in a mask as opposed to our own face, we do still improve and grow, but we do so in a way that is inhibited by our limited vision and leaves our critical weaknesses proportionally vulnerable. If we want to unlock our full potential, the mask is something that must be broken. Breaking the mask. You should understand that learning to live as your true self will take some serious time and thinking on your part. Once one decides that they want to break the mask, they must undergo a transfiguration process that is not intuitively simple to understand. Lucky for you, young apprentices, I've outlined two major steps which I believe are essential to breaking the mask and unmasking the wizard. There is one thing that distinguishes those who unmask the wizard and those who don't.
There's only one answer. Instinct!
No. Open-mindedness. Open-mindedness is a crucial attribute for any aspiring wizard. Studies show that open-minded people are more accepting, more creative, and even more intelligent, which we all know is the most crucial attacking stat for any wizard in D&D. When the mask rests on someone's face for so long, they accept a degree of ignorance which isn't normal. This ignorance is the only thing that allows them to willingly stay powerless. Although some people may have some conception of this, people still consciously choose and often subconsciously choose this ignorance. People are intimidated by the things that they don't understand, and as a result, they hesitate. To unmask the wizard, you have to be appropriately unsettled by these same things that intimidate others. What don't you understand about yourself, the world, and how exactly are those two things related and interacting? Answering this question requires humility, introspection, and treating your core beliefs about the world as malleable. Once someone cultivates open-mindedness in their disposition, they become fully aware of the mask's existence and are ready to do the work of breaking it down. At this point, the most effective way to break the mask is by investing in oneself. Every area of improvement demands time, focus, energy, and often at least some amount of money. If we want to invest in ourselves, we must think about our improvement journey the way investors think about their stocks, which is basically how alchemists thought about their alchemy. The most basic law of alchemy states that to gain something, something else must be lost or given in return of that same equivalent value. I think the crucial mistake that people make is that they expend resources they care about, like time and energy, that will yield results they don't value as proportional to the loss. What people so often get wrong is that they invest in themselves in a way that isn't proportional to the diversity of their personhood. This sets him on track for a life of inauthenticity before they even know what happened. People are often told by the world to invest narrowly in their lives. They only major in one thing, only have one source of income, only listen to one type of music, and only pursue one thing at a time. While this worldview is useful for grounding a population of people with limited introspection and purpose, as someone who values authenticity in their life, you should understand that these same principles actually hurt your authenticity and will potentially limit your output socially, intellectually, and even financially. When people are open-minded and make diverse investments in themselves, which they believe to be of true quality, there's almost nothing that can stop them from breaking the mask.
The only obstacle that can stop somebody at this point can best be described using the sunk cost fallacy.
Now, the sunk cost fallacy states that once we have already invested in a particular area, we are less likely to pull away our time, focus, and energy from it because we place unnecessary value in our exhausted resources. In some instances, this makes sense. If I'm, watching a YouTube video and I'm already 10 minutes in, 7 minutes in, right? I might as well continue watching because I want to reap the full benefits of the message. No, seriously. After all, the maximum time one can invest in watching is only around 15 minutes, and the reward of actionable intellectual advice is so close in proximity that it makes practical sense for most people to remain stalwart in that investment, right? Now, if you are an artist who is maybe slightly above average but nothing extraordinary,
and only continue because you feel burdened to do so by another person, maybe even a younger, more idealistic version of yourself,
it would in most instances make more sense for you to pull that investment of time and energy to something more immediately useful to you, right? There was probably a career out there, which more appropriately capitalized on what society might have considered a narrow niche of artistry. In reality, the artist's talent was the ability to apply creative thinking to challenges. And this talent allows the artist to do well in a plethora of fields, from something more familiar like art teacher, or something which would pair well with other skills like, YouTuber, right? The truth is, however, that despite the sunk costs, the artist can still make adjustments to move towards authenticity through gradual steps applied to other jobs that require some artistic talent, as well as other skills he hopes to develop. If the artist is still unsatisfied, he can use that second job to pivot towards something even more isolated from art. That's how opportunities work. But whichever choice the artist makes with regards to quitting, it won't ever be inhibited by the artist's experience, only enhanced, and it will never be outside of the artist's authentic self, only in service of it. As long as we are willing to put an effort towards a pivot, we can fully take steps towards making sure every area of our life is in alignment with what we view as important. But this definitely doesn't have anything to do with me or anything. Once you have done all of these things, you will begin to live the life you want. At first, it will be difficult. People may look at you as weird or question you, but quickly you will see that as you begin to correct yourself and improve, whilst already on a path of authenticity, your growth will accelerate beyond what you hoped because you are taking advantage of what you are naturally inclined to do, which will align with your passion, which will also align with the amount of effort you desire to put in. In this way, you will have the upper hand in all encounters through your willing confrontation with uncertainty and the natural advantage of authenticity and consistent improvement of the parts of yourself you identify as most valuable. So it's kind of like min-maxing in a video game in some ways. But whichever build you try out, because you were the one to shape it, because you didn't let your environment dictate your resignation, you'll have a blast. What? Huh? Oh, you want to know what's behind my mask? I don't think I'm ready to reveal that just yet.